Just like us, Sheroes, our guest also has many, many feathers in her cap, and her identity cannot be limited to one role alone. So we're thrilled to welcome you, Chhavi, to our town hall today. Chhavi is an actor, singer, model, wife, mother, homemaker, writer, producer, blogger, and YouTuber. And she's also the co-founder of Shitty Ideas Trending. And we cannot wait to hear more about you, Chhavi, today. I'm going to start with a question that I have in mind. And if you can just take that question up and we can kickstart today's session. So my question for you, Chhavi, is you've taken on so many roles, like I just said. What role resonates the most with you? What do you feel you're most yourself in? And tell us a little bit more about your story.
Okay, thank you so much, Indira, first of all, for that lovely introduction. You make it sound very complicated, although it's not as complicated as it sounds. It's really quite simple. One just keeps going on living one's life and just doing what one loves. It's really just that. And if you ask me what is my most favorite role that I play, I don't think I can put a finger on one because I'm passionate about everything that I do, and I think that's what makes everything so enjoyable for me. So there are times when motherhood takes over everything else. There are times when work takes over everything else. There are times that I just want to write. And there are times that I just want to, enjoy myself and my freedom and my free time and, my me time. And that's the time when I really enjoy going to the gym and being fit, working on my body, not just my mind and my work. So I think all of these things together, it's just the whole combined package that I enjoy the most.
That's lovely. And Chavi, tell us a little bit more about your story. How these ideas that you got to start, say, Shitty Ideas Trending, for example. They say an idea can change your life. So tell us a little bit about how this idea came about, and how did you decide to take on this venture?
So I think sometimes when an idea hits you, you don't really know that this is the one. So for that reason, and not just an idea, I think also what you want to do in life, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to just be a mother, whether you want to be a homemaker, whether you want to pursue a profession that you've always dreamt about and haven't had a chance to do anything about it yet. I feel whatever it is, until and unless you try your hand at it, you will never know whether this is the one. So when the idea of Shitty Ideas Trending also hit us, we didn't know whether it's the one. We just wanted to do something different in life. We wanted to experiment with our creativity. I knew that I was an actor, but I wanted to know if I could do a little bit more than just being an actor, because I think after a point, being an actor was not the most satisfying for me. It wasn't able to satiate me the way I wanted. um, what I wanted from my career, I wasn't getting. It's more like being a puppet in somebody else's hand. And I thought that it's time. After being a mother, I thought that if I have the capability to bear a child and to raise the child the way I want, and I think that's the biggest responsibility anybody can ever have. I thought it's time to take the control of my own reins in my own hand also. So that's when Shitty Ideas Trending, when it happened, we decided that okay, we're not gonna put any numbers to it. We're not gonna measure it with the success or with how much money we make on it, but we're just gonna measure it by how much fun we have creating these videos. And when we started creating these videos, we realized that it's not just us who are having fun while making them. It's also the people who are watching it. And
Did you ever have any moments of doubt, when you taking that plunge and kind of jumping into something completely new? I'm sure a lot of us women in the room can relate to having to take that step. So any advice or anything you can share here?
so initially, when SIT before SIT happened, and me and my husband, we had a very intimate chat. It was our 10th wedding anniversary, and we thought that we have a daughter who's 2 years old now, and is this the kind of parents that we want to be? One of us was always home and the other was always working, and she never had the both of us together. So we thought that there's something else that we need to do in life so that we can raise this little child together as a mother and a father, not just one at a time. And we discussed a lot of different possibilities. We discussed a lot of different things that could be done. For example, selling everything and going to a smaller city, settling down, starting some new business, maybe starting a restaurant, maybe starting a fashion line, and the typically the ones which come to your head the first. And we discussed it, and we realized that we don't know anything about any of these businesses. So why not stick to something that we're good at? I was good at acting, and he was good at directing. And and I thought that if we start creating something together, then I also get to grow as a person. I get to learn a lot. And of course, I started writing, I started, directing creatively, I started doing a lot of other things along with it. So whatever doubts we had in our mind, we sort of toyed with those in the early stages, and then we just took the plunge. And I think that with any kind of business, when you're starting it, it's not going to shine overnight. I mean, very few people are lucky like that. So you have to give yourself time. You have to give yourself conviction. If you're not convinced in what you're doing, how will you make somebody else convinced in what you're doing? Like, even if you're making clothes and selling, if you're not convinced with what you're making, how will you convince the buyer? So the first thing is having conviction in yourself before you take the plunge. And once you take the plunge, be prepared for all the ups and downs that you're going to face. There are going to be a lot of downs before you start seeing ups. And then it's always a graph which goes like a wave. It's never just upwards or just downwards. After a downfall, you will see a rise again. And
आप भी एक फाउंडर हो, आपने भी एक बिजनेस फाउंड किया है, तो अगर आपके पास कोई इनसाइट्स हो ऑन 3 मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वालिटीज अकॉर्डिंग टू यू कि एक बिजनेस वुमेन के पास होना चाहिए, एंड इफ यू कैन रैंक देम आल्सो. ये मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन है एंड फिर हम ऑडियंस से पूछेंगे, लेकिन इस पे अगर इफ यू कैन शेयर अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ इनसाइट्स.
ये बहुत बहुत मुश्किल क्वेश्चन है, मुझे पता नहीं एक दे पाऊंगी इनसाइट के 3 दे पाऊंगी. But I think एक चीज तो conviction ही जो मैंने बोला, that's one of the most important things. You have to be convinced about your business and then everything else follows. और दूसरी चीज है disappointment नहीं होना चाहिए कभी भी. Every failure, you always get to learn something from your failure. तो आप second attempt में हमेशा better ही करोगे. तो वो चीज भी important है. Don't like lose your heart and give up. बट थर्ड चीज जो मेरे हिसाब से बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है वो ये भी है कि अपनी खुद की कैपेबिलिटी रिकॉग्नाइज करना जरूरी है. आपको 1000 लोग आकर बोलेंगे, लाइक लॉट ऑफ पीपल कम एंड टेल मी ब्यूटीफुल थिंग्स अबाउट मी, बट व्हाट डू आई थिंक अबाउट माई सेल्फ इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. डू आई बिलीव एवरीथिंग एवरीबडी सेज? नो. I know what my shortcomings are. It's important for me to work on them. It's great that people don't see that. I do a good job of hiding them. So amazing, and kudos to me. But it's very important to learn your own shortcomings. Agar business nahi chal raha hai, if a content piece is not working, see whatever we create in-house, we love it. Obviously, we like the stories we write. That's why we create them. But sometimes a video doesn't work, and we feel ki kyun nahi chala, right? So it's very important to understand where we lack and then improve upon it, rather than feeling ki yaar ये क्या हो गया, तो इतना अच्छा तो था, उनको अच्छा क्यों नहीं लगा, you know. So always understanding your own shortcomings and working on it is really important.
What keeps you motivated as an entrepreneur with all the ups and downs? Is there any one thing that keeps you motivated?
I think firstly it's definitely because I'm on social media. It's when I read the comments, it really makes me feel amazing. And secondly also, what I try to do is I try to keep doing new things. So sometimes it happens that, I get bored of doing the things that I'm doing, like the vlogs that I make, or the content on Instagram that I make, or the kind of videos on SID that we make. It kind of gets a little monotonous sometimes. Either I just take a break. I just stop everything for 15 days and take a break. Kuch nahi dalenge. Nothing. Or we try to completely reinvent what we are doing. We get new characters, we get new stories, and I'll sort of reinvent myself, my look and everything to get a breath of fresh air in all the content that I'm creating everywhere. And that really helps, yeah, because the end goal, I think, of everything should be more than money. Money, of course, is important, but more than that, what's important is that you're happy doing what you're doing. And the minute it becomes drudgery, then it's just drudgery. And I mean, I don't want to live my life like that.
True, and I think it's very important to know कि कब किस पॉइंट पे आपको खुद को रीइन्वेंट करना पड़ेगा, एंड किस पॉइंट पे अगर आप खुद से ही सैचुरेट हो जा रहे हो, देन व्हाट इज द करेक्ट टाइम टू स्विच गियर्स. तो ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट आई थिंक मोटिवेशन है हम सब के लिए. एक और क्वेश्चन है दैट छवि, हाउ डू यू मैनेज इट ऑल एज अ मदर, योर बिजनेस एंड बीइंग अ मदर?
So I think the most important thing that helps me there is scheduling the routine of my kids. Okay. It has helped me from day one. If I know what time my child is going to sleep, what time he's going to wake up, what time he's going to eat, what time he's going to go to the garden, what time he's going to wake up in the morning, what time he's going to pee and poop, I know it all. Then it's very easy for me to manage. Even if I have a help at home who's helping me, I literally just write it down and tell her, itne baje sussu kara dena, itne baje khana khila dena, itne baje garden le jana, itne baje haath dhula dena. Like, it's literally like that. So it's very easy for the help also to follow. There's no crying, there's no tantrums, because everything is happening time to time. I know when he's hungry, he's fed before he starts crying. I know when he's sleepy, he sleeps before he starts crying. And I know that, so in the morning when he takes a nap, I know that, okay, once I put him to bed is when I can come to office. I have those undivided 6 hours of work in office. I know those hours he's well taken care of. And I always reach home on time before his dinner and his bedtime, which is at 6:30. So no matter what, these things, if I can just work everything around it, and if he sleeps early, I've trained him to sleep by 7:38. So even if I want to like go out partying, I can totally do it and let my hair down. And with my elder one also, the same. Her routine is like set in stone. She goes to school, what time she comes back, what she eats, what her tiffin has to carry, everything. This routine and this scheduling really, really helps me make routine my own life. So I know that if I have to speak on Sheroes, I know 4 o'clock is a good time for me because
Right.
Aram is sorted, Ariza is sorted.
So organization and planning.
Yes.
So Prachi has a question. Getting in front of a camera isn't easy. Any tips for a camera shy person who's looking to create content for their business?
So I think getting in front of the camera is the easiest thing to do. I think getting in front of people is more difficult because you know somebody is looking at you and probably judging you. In front of the camera, there's nobody. You always have the option of going and deleting it. It is in your control to go and upload it. Just be yourself. It's just you and the camera. You can put it on selfie, talk to yourself. I think it's the most comfortable thing to do. When you're satisfied, that is when you put it up.
The one quick question more from Shubhra. जब आपको दो ऑप्शन में एक चूज करना होता है एंड दिस इज फॉर अ बिग डिसीजन, तो आप कैसे चूज कर सकते हो उन दोनों ऑप्शंस में एंड जबकि दोनों ही आपको बेस्ट लगते हैं?
तो इसमें कोई इंकी पिंकी पॉन्की रूल नहीं होता है और जब दो ऑप्शंस होते हैं तो सबसे ज्यादा टफ होता है बिकॉज I, for one, am somebody who gets really confused. But over the years, I have devised a way that helps me choosing. I make a list of pros and cons, and then I see कि किसके favor में ज़्यादा जा रहा है, तो then I go with that because everything has pros and cons, and that is what makes your decision tougher. So whatever is giving me more pros, then I just go ahead with that.
If you can shed some light on, as a YouTuber yourself, any tips on how to build your personal brand on YouTube? This is just for all of us business women in the room. Personal brand को कैसे build करना है YouTube पे?
On YouTube, it's very easy to start aping other people because there are so many success stories that you see on YouTube. And these are all people who are home entrepreneurs, homegrown, they're self-made, they are kids, they are young, some of them are old, and there are all kinds of people who inspire us on YouTube. It's very important to not ape them. You see them, you learn from them, but you do not try and do what they are doing because they are doing what they are good at. You have to do what you are good at. I can only be Chhavi and sell myself. I can't be Prachi or Asma or Siddhika or Indira. I cannot be you guys. You guys have your own personalities. You guys have your own plus points. That is what you highlight. And also, second thing is that many times when you put yourself out there on the social media, you will not just be praised. You will be trolled. You will be trolled as hell. So you have to understand the difference between trolls and between constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is what you accept and you try to work with. But trolls, please ignore, hit delete, hit block, just ignore them, don't let them bother you, and keep doing what you're doing. So that's important. And I learn this every day, and I see young kids on social media trying to, do something themselves, and I feel horrible when they are trolled with. But there are all kinds of people on social media, so you just have to understand who is your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? Are you reaching that person? Good.
Absolutely. And Chhavi, all of these questions जो आपने आज answer किया है, so helpful for all of us business women, entrepreneurs in the room. I mean, reinvention, authenticity, organizational skills, cutting out the noise and the trolls, ये सब हम सब के लिए बहुत ही motivational है, and it applies to all of us no matter what we are doing.